side, Bob Stoops, 14-1 against ranked teams here at home. Notre Dame won the coin toss and they have deferred, so Stoops and the Sooners will get the ball to start the game. Roy Finch and Brennan Clay are back deep as we get ready to get started. There's Everett Golson over on the sideline. Their outstanding inside linebacker, ready to go to work against this high-powered OU offense. Will they still be undefeated when it ends? We're about to find out. From 2 yards deep, Clay decides to come out. Right return. And he is well short of what...
Boom to the hay, all you sports fans out there in the Tubosphere. Welcome to the One-Man Sports Rant, Gen 2.0. I am your juggling act, Will, the alternative ESPN sports thrill. So which of the big three are we going to be talking about today? Other than what the title suggests, that'll be coming up soon. Don't change the channel. There's plenty of sports highlights coming up. The reason I say that, I looked at the average attention span, videos in the past, 2 minutes. Well, it takes more than 2 minutes in the past to get this show going. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, alright? We're not talking no 30-second clip either, or a $1.14, or even a $1.59. You know, the beauty of doing a show is you end up with a significantly, still slight and brief, longer highlight reel than all those other ones that I just mentioned that are all over YouTube. That's not the goal of this show here. Now, how is that possible? It's a little thing called the DCMA, which we adhere to strictly around here. The Digital Copyright Millennium Act. As the key tenets were hashed out as it pertains to YouTube more than ever. Really came about because of the Napsters of the world. Through WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. And these are the fair use standard, derivatives, minimal use, no money exchange in hands, because the OMSR is a pro bono production. So I understand if a show's not your cup of tea, you can always fast forward on average 8 minutes, you know, thereabouts. We try to do at least 6 minutes worth of highlights. There. So you can go, do I have anybody's attention at this point? 1:43. Plus the intro, so that's my 2 minutes. I guess I'm up. I may not be talking to anybody. I'm not sure. I'm not dissing you guys watching now. I'm talking about how it was in the past. Alright, so you heard from Motley Crue. It's going to be our lead-into for a while, and are introduced by our Pi Kappa Alpha House Sweethearts, U of U chapter, Alpha Tau. Giving you props. So, yeah, all of these things being said, one more very important thing. This show is copyrighted to the OMSR with brief video highlights courtesy to CBS, NBC, ABC, ESPN, Pac-12 networks, and or any of their affiliates. The OMSR does not own these video highlights, but does own all the other original content and the overall concept herein, thereof, therefore, most rights reserved. Now, one more note, to change it up a little bit. All images not of OMSR provenance were obtained through the public domain. Now, anybody out there going, hey, you're sort of like using that without our permission, we want you to take it down, watch my dust. But everything done on this show is within the confines of the defines of the aforementioned DCMA. Alright, so before we get to it in the clipboard, what is the sports subject we are talking about specifically, other than what the title says? Yeah, so that's our word, shiznit, when you're trying to say, you know, the one word, when you're trying to make it sound like, you know, the good version of that word. Well, you know, I've had this word for years, shiznit. And as far as the other goes, well, there's a graphic in part 2 that shows, you know, one's approvable, one is not. So on the Life Ran Sports Fair of the day, I actually have some graphics to back me up on this, and go.
Pure speed. This shows two things, how fast he is and how they don't have speed on the Arizona team.
Checks in, and there is a penalty flag.
Eagle substitution. Defense. Too many players on the field. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So a head coach wants an explanation because he thought that Notre Dame was substituting on the other side. So he's not happy with that penalty against him. Mike Stoops, though, is having a little conversation with Wilson. The young man Nicholas late to the party, and a timeout is going to get burned, so they screw up a personnel adjustment, and Kelly is not happy about it. That could be an important timeout, and Kelly is very disappointed with an assistant coach down there on the sideline. Watch that Irish temper.
He's been so good tonight.
He's been such a good lad.
Yeah, so on that note, I mean, forgive me, Oklahoma fans, but this just has to be said. They're talking about no speed on the Arizona defense. Dude, you were there 8 years. Defense was supposed to be your specialty. Maybe Brent Venables was the one doing the job? Okay, part 2. The other clip, his reaction, and you see a player's reaction. Obviously, there's a paradigm to that, which is indicative and insightful as to what's really going on at practice. That was a key player going on in defense, you know, nickel packages. Didn't like being talked to like that. Mike Stoops never stops to think that the camera might be on him, and when he's reading somebody the riot act over a play that's just frankly not that important, and not any play is worth doing that. You know, it didn't work at Arizona, it didn't work at OU the first time, and it's not working now. It's really off-putting to people. The third clip, how Coach Kelly goes about it. He goes to the coach first, sternly, then he goes to the player, sternly. None of this antics going on. All right, so it's our assessment that Mike Stoops is just not good with people. You know, it didn't work out at Arizona. You know, Big Brother seems to keep bailing him out. When's he going to wake up and realize that maybe he's the problem, like maybe Mac Brown is at Texas at this point? These anachronistic terms to describe him in a, I don't know, romanticized or thoughtful kind of way. Oh, he's a firebrand and so forth and so on. No, he's too hot-tempered to be in such a people interactive sort of business. And, you know, honestly, OU fans, more fan base, not of OU stock, liked OU when Stoops is gone and Venables was there, and I'm sure it's gone back the other way. Now this speaks back to the Mississippi State show I did. You may want to see it, where the LRS are there, is to explain to your girlfriend why it is you root for a school that is 2,000 miles away, you never went to, and you don't know anybody went there. It's like, well, because it's a certain type of coach. You like them, or they're off-putting, and they attract the same kind of players. I just don't think Mike Stoops should be coaching. Okay, we're done. So the clip order coming up. Well, there's a lot here to go through. You know, that reflecting that graphic, Notre Dame's defense and the shaky start, first series for Oklahoma. It's 2 minute warning, so I don't go over on time. Thanks for watching. Go back to music leading to Motley Crue. Pay attention to the graphics from the state of California. Throw the book at you. DMV, BAC chart. No silly DUIs while you're out there. All right, later days, Gen 2.0, and more football plays.
Defensive line, the Irish put 3 down on that defensive line. That snap comes free. The quarterback was not ready, and it is recovered all the way back on the 35-yard line. Damian Williams saves it. Now look at him go at it as the center. Eicher just simply snapped the ball without him there.
You mix up your tempos like this, and you're not on the same page. You don't see this from a couple veterans like Eicher and Jones, but this time they're so used to going tempo, 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 that the last couple plays they've slowed things down, and I think they even fooled themselves and backfired there with the snap by Eicher.
And Herbie, it's a big 19-yard loss, so that makes it 2nd down and 29 now. The Irish still can't lay a hand on number 12, but he comes up short, and you wonder if he's not a little bit rattled about what just happened on that last play. That was a very bad play right there again.
Yeah, And you can see Nick's getting a pretty good push there on Bronson Irwin, the right guard, just enough to be able to affect Landry Jones. But this is going to be one of those games, especially early, where mistakes like this can cost you momentum. It can cost you to drive. Bob Stoops in this offense, they came out, guns blazing, they were moving the ball, no huddle, push with tempo, and then a setback like that. Now they're facing a 3rd and 29.
You can see how the Irish set that pass defense with only 3 down up front, trying to get to Jones, who's got plenty of time. They're going to play pass defense. And I believe that was incomplete. It was to Millard over there on the side. And I believe they're going to wave that one off and bring it back. And here comes the punting team now. Here comes Tressway, who's a good punter. But that was a shaky ending to a promising first drive. We're watching where he lines up. Golson under pressure, runs away from it now for the first time. Can he get to the first down marker? It's big, and he reaches for it. Let's see where they spot it. Just short, it appears to us, regarding that yellow line. Hurst was able to get him out of bounds, and it is close on the near side.
And Brett, early here on 3rd down, you can see in this game that Oklahoma's going to try to spy on these 3rd downs. Harris is right here, the safety. See 30? He's trying to spy to make a play. The problem is he stopped moving forward. His feet stopped, and it allowed Golson to get around the game. Picks it up perfectly. You can see when Landry Jones has time to set his feet and make a throw, he's going to nail you, and especially when you're sitting back in soft coverage.
He's 9 of 11 for 110 yards already in this game. 3rd down and doesn't even keep a protector. That one's deflected and almost caught after it was ricocheted. Stills had a crack at it, but it was deflected that time. Nix was in the middle of things there, I think, for the Irish.
Yeah, he did. He actually got his hand and knocked that down. 6'3", 326 pounds, kind of enforcer. And, you know, this Notre Dame defense, we keep talking about the soft coverage, bend but don't break, but this time they step up and make the play in the red zone the way they have most of the year and force his field goal.
So here comes the field goal attempt by Michael Honeycutt. It'll be 28 yards.
The Sooners lead all night for Notre Dame. This is a physical Oklahoma front four. I mean, usually you come into Norman and you see some defensive ends that are about 240 pounds and run a 4-5. That's not the case this year. I mean, you have guys that are 275 pounds, 280 pounds across the entire front, not just the interior. So when you can pick up 4 or 5 yards on a run, take some of the pressure off of Edward Golson, that's big.
Tom works the middle linebacker. Sierra Wood gets the carry, and right up the middle, breaks free. He's headed for the end zone. No one will catch him. The Irish with the game's first touchdown. Sierra Wood goes 62 yards, and Notre Dame leads. Draw play. Williams to the 41-yard line, and Teo makes another stop.
And Manti Teo, this is what he can do. You said all these plays from Oklahoma, you have 20 plays, and 15 of them have been a pass. So Teo instinctively thinking of sitting back and defending the pass. That time he got in on the run as well.
On 3rd down, Landry Jones throws incomplete. Speaking of Heisman Trophy conversation, Herbie, isn't it fun to have a defensive player being mentioned with all the offensive stuff?
He's been the most consistent defensive player this year in a high-profile there. And what we've seen from Manti Teo the last couple years and what we're seeing this year, the quickness and the ability to get away from blocks and make plays to the outside because he's lost 15 pounds, much quicker.
Checking back over the sideline. 3rd down and 7. OU has to get across the 40-yard line for a first down. Trying to get pressure. And they make him drop it down to Clay. Teo was the defender on the running back as a receiver. That was extremely well defended.
Blitz. They're going to try to bring pressure up the middle with whether it's Teo or Fox. They might both be coming here. Oklahoma's trying to adjust to get ready for it.
Teo's on the quarterback, sacks him on the 25-yard line. The senior from Hawaii.